Hi, good morning. This is Leslie Draper, Oklahoma's own Bible Belt Mystic. Today is Tuesday, August the 6th, and I have another experiment from E Squared, the book by Pam Grout, to share with you. Although this one manifested in almost instant time, still the principles are the same, so I want to share them. The one I'm talking about is the Abracadabra Principal, and it is experiment number 4 in the book E Squared. And basically, the theory of this is whatever you focus on comes into your reality. And the question is, can I pull things out of air by simply thinking about them? The hypothesis is, by making the following intention and focusing on its outcome, I can draw it into my life. And the experiment asks that you give 48 hours for this thing to manifest. Well, here is how today went down. I began my day like normal. While I was getting ready for my day, I was listening to 101 Power Thoughts by Louise Hay. I also wrote some new code for my life that included 12 new laws that I apply to my life. So I began by reading them, and I had my girls read them aloud too as we were doing hair and getting ready. With 3 daughters, I spend a lot of time doing hair in the morning. If everyone wants their hair either straightened or curled, it's a solid hour. So there's a lot of time that I can make good use of right there while I'm getting all of these long heads of hair fixed in the morning. So anyway, it came, we had a slight hiccup in our day this morning, and it could have been a really negative and bad experience, and it certainly did feel that way. So to back up and give a little bit of history, last week my 10-year-old asked if she could take my Kindle to summer camp with her. Every part of my mom intuition, my inner knowing said absolutely not. She's 10. She will lose it. She'll forget about it. Someone will steal it. I mean, this is the kid that's already had her cell phone stolen twice. So it just wasn't a good idea. But she persisted and persisted and persisted. And I'm like, well, I'm always safe in the universe, so I will go ahead and let her take my Kindle. So when she's getting off the bus on Friday from her field trip, the first thing out of my mouth was, "Hi, and do you have my Kindle?" She looked at me and said, "Yes, I do. It's in my bag." And so, okay, well, let's get in the car and let's go about our weekend. It was a big act of trust, me letting her take the Kindle, and for reasons that I do understand, but I don't like. She chose to lie to me because she did not have the Kindle, and she did lie to me until this morning. So she lied to me for 4 days. As a mother, that's very painful when your child lies to you, but she did. And when I asked her why she lied to me, she said it was because you trusted me and I didn't want to let you down. I had a plan. When we go on the field trip this week, I'll get back on the same bus, and I know the Kindle will be there, Mom. I just know it. I know it's on the bus. So, she is an intuitive kid. She had that inner knowing that the Kindle was on the bus. But, we've not been so lucky with the cell phones. They were stolen right out of her bag at the same summer camp. So it was an incredibly frustrating morning in which there was a lot of frustration and stressful words and even some tears by me and by her. It was just a really bad thing. So anyway, after we talk about the missing Kindle and after we talk about what we're going to do about it, it occurred to me that by focusing on the fact that the Kindle was now missing and it was likely gone forever, and whoever, the 2 times the cell phone's been stolen, one time we were able to recover it because of a tracker app, and the other time whoever stole it knew enough to disable the tracker app. Well, there's no such app for a Kindle that I found. So I knew in that moment that I was being given the opportunity to test one of these principles. So I got out the book and I looked and I saw this has got to be the Abracadabra Principle. If I can focus on already knowing my Kindle is with me, that it's in my hands, it's safe with me, I can pull it back. If I focus on it with absolute knowing that no matter where it is, it's already back safe with me. And that's what I decided to do. So we get to summer camp this morning, and she tells the counselor there, "I left it on bus 17. And he looks at her and says, "Honey, there's no bus 17. And she's like, "Okay, well, I left it on the fun bus." What bus is the fun bus? I don't have a clue. So odds were looking pretty much against us. But I had this inner nudge from the universe to contact the local school district, because sometimes the summer camp program where the girls attend will borrow school buses. And so that's what I did. I contacted them and they said, no, nobody's turned anything in. Normally things like that don't get found. And I'm like, oh man. Okay, so I went back to my Abracadabra Principal from the E-Squared book. And I said, okay, this Kindle is already mine. This is my intention. My Kindle is back with me already. It is my Kindle. It is safe with me. I own it and it is mine. And that is exactly the intention that I held. It was not even 5 minutes after I made this intention that the phone rang. I answered it, and guess what? It was the school district. And against all the odds in the world, someone found my Kindle. And so my Kindle is already back with me. It is mine. I gave them my email address. They verified that it was mine, and they said, that was a long shot that you got that back. And I said, yes, I know, but it's abracadabra. So anyway, the experiment worked. And, from the time I made the intention to the time it manifested, about 5 minutes. That's fast. But even more importantly, it was a wonderful learning lesson for me and for my children about the power of our thoughts. I have no doubt whatsoever that if I would have gone into what, the familiar recourse would have been for having something missing, that we wouldn't have gotten the Kindle back. It would have been gone for good. And all I could have done is say, I release you with light and love, and I hope whoever ends up with you desperately needs you and cannot afford you and makes good use of you, and so it is. That's what we did with the cell phone that was taken. So this time we got it back. The experiments in this book are great. I really, really love them, and I'm someone who reads a lot. I love it, and so I'm just excited to share them with you. And guess what? Abracadabra, the principle worked. My Kindle is back in my hands, and life as well. So I'm Leslie Draper, Oklahoma's own Bible Belt Mystic. If you want to email me, go to leslie@biblebeltmystic.com, or you can check out my website at www.biblebeltmystic.com, or check me out on Facebook. Thank you, and have a gloriously blessed day, and may anything you've lost be returned to you, and so it is.